Welcome in, everyone. This is our flow recap for the week of 126 to 130. A little quieter week here. Obviously, a lot of earnings. We had FOMC. We have a couple names that haven't made a full move yet. As always, we're going to look at the full move of the contracts. And just kind of look at the full move of the contracts, what the flow looked like when it came in, and just kind of go from there. So it's going to be kind of a quicker video. Try to get out of here as quick as possible, and it's a live flow recap, so if you got questions at the end, feel free to ask them. But we'll start here with Netflix, the 213.87 calls, and on the ones that didn't work, we might not spend a ton of time on there, but these ones came in on 126, so actually let's go back to 126 here. So here's our entry. These actually came in right away, so I'll typically like to wait for flow to kind of work its way out right at open. Typically, I don't grab anything in the first like 15 minutes, but these actually looked pretty good at the time. So again, our flow, and this was textbook flow, so this is a good example of not everything that's textbook is going to work out. Can see when that flow started to come in here, that IV popped, that spot was filling at the ask. It looked good. It reads as a buy, and it potentially was read as a buy, but we have, and coming back here to 126, you had 2,000 total contracts traded on the day. This whale was 1,100. We'll say make the math a little easier there. You only had just almost 1,200 carryover, so you do have some other spikes in here. I don't think that was the whale accident. It could have been them taking some profits off, but 222, I mean, they came up, and I mean, you hit 228. It's not a good return. I mean, that spread saying 250, I'm not trusting that there, but I believe our whale actually got out. If we look at the next day, you had some big spikes here at 128 and 115 there, so I believe our whale kind of got out there. They came back and up and hit two. I have that whale exiting there at about 128-ish, 115, 128-ish there, so that whale would have cut at 42%. And just kind of coming back to Friday here, we'll look at the last 7 days. Kind of hard now to know exactly what's going on. Again, there's that volume from the day there. It's going to show a little more because it's going to group in that volume within that time, but a lot of volume spikes. Now we don't really know what's what in here. I'm saying that whale's out there, so that would have been one of our losses on the week. So up next we have the BA 320 220 put bid side. So this one's going to be a little different. So when you're selling premium, essentially you want those contracts to go to zero. So we're going to look at it here, and we have another good example here. So right now, these contracts are still 6% out of the money. These can still technically be profitable here. This one would be one that we'd want to probably recap next week too, just to kind of see how it goes. This whale is obviously a lot of, I mean, very long term on these here. So when they're selling these puts, that's essentially meaning they want that stock to go up, or it can stay neutral. It can get close as long as this contract does not finish within 220. That whale's going to see profit there. And I mean, you're still 6% out of the money here. And kind of just looking at that flow as well too, you can see, so this is the opposite of when you're looking at ask side. You want to see that IV decrease and that spot to fill at the bid. So you can see that here when that flow starts to come in here to repeat its descending fill. So that means that fill is decreasing here, and you can see how it decreases when it's kind of coming in here, and you see that time, that 8:44:22. This is you say this is all related. I mean, it's a second apart. It's all heavy premium. It's the same person. 99% sure you could say that. So you see how that IV is decreasing there. That spot is filling at the bid. This is what you want to see for when you're selling premium. This would insinuate that it's a sell on these puts here. Now, right now, again, they're still 6% out of the money. This whale's a little longer term. So as long as Boeing doesn't finish within that 220, this whale will be safe. So this is one that we can revisit here, and you did kind of get a little pop that same day, but BA kind of moving down a little bit with the overall market too, so that's just kind of one thing to keep an eye on. Again, something we can revisit here as well. So I have this one down as NA for profitable right now because it's not a yes and it's not a no yet technically. So we're gonna move on here to the UNH 322.40 bid side puts again. So another put sell. Now this was a better example here because when we look at this, so let's pop over here. So the UNHs and selling premium, I don't post a lot of that just because I don't want people to get like calls and then that stock just moves sideways. So they are very, you can tell when it is a when they're selling them. I clearly label that. So again, you can see that spot is filling at the bid here. That IV decreases when it comes in. Clean look here for bid side puts. And you can see they opened them at 304. Looks like we could potentially see some buying back here at 90. So so it was 4,300 contracts. We have 1,500 there plus 12 there, so you're at 3. So it could have about 1,000 left there or so. And just looking at that 129 there, you see that 3,000. You had some contracts carry over. So my guess is this whale was probably passing them off, buying them back, so on, because you do have kind of a open interest change there too. But looks like that whale probably bought some back there at 90, so they would have collected about 70% of that premium. So that is a win technically. Now again, some of that looks like it's still open there. So UNH, good little put sell one there. FCX, these made a very quick intraday move here. So come back to the 27th here, and this is why I always tell people flow is time sensitive. You have to be ready on that, especially on like these were weeklies here, and these were coming in on the 27th. You know that's a very quick move, and here's our flow. Come in here. Let me pop the results down. We'll see if it lets me go back a page. Yeah, so 5109 is our start here. Let me just come back here then. 5109. So that 5109, and then you see that IV increase there. Increases again here at the end. Spot is coming in pretty much at the ask there. A couple cents below, you do come up here. That's an ascending fill here towards the end. That spot price increases. These made a pretty quick move. A good chance to get out of these with profits though that same day. Looks like our whale could have, we'll check that volume here, but 67, we got a nice little move up here, hitting 105, I believe. Let's see, what was that, the 27th? 115 is the high with the spread. So I mean, that's a quick 66% move there. So 69 to that 115, I've got 66.67% max return there. Now, you can see price came back down. We came back up, hit about 89 there, and you hit again 83 there. So I mean, you're still seeing really good profits there. You should have a stop on, and it looks like if we come back to the 27th here, 6,600 contracts traded, only 2,000 carried over. That whale got out same day. So we got our quick little good move there. That max return 69 to 115, good 66.67% on those. And just kind of looking from Friday. This is why you got to be cautious on the weeklies. They actually got a really big move there. I'm not going to keep this as a high there. I mean, they hit 218 today. That's a big move. So we'll keep that the same day move there. But I mean, too many contracts changing hands. I think that whale got out same day anyways there. But yeah, I mean, well, I didn't even realize they ran more today. But good move there from our initial entry there. So SPY puts here, the 226.61 puts. These again coming in on the 27th. Let's go look at the 27th. This was the entry at 205 here. We look at the flow. Let's come over here. So again, you see that IV, how it rises when it comes in. Spot is filling at the ask. IV increases. Spot's filling at the ask. Looks like a buy to me. Now, the thing with this one is we had that big spike, so 7,000 plus 2,000 there. Then you had about 10,000 come in here. So looking at the 27th here, you had, it's showing 19,000 contracts traded. I don't see where that math is there. Wait, 9 plus, oh, okay, I'm glad it's Friday. So, okay, 19,000 contracts traded there. You had about 5,700 carryover. So we don't know how much of that the whale actually carried over. I think this whale, potentially 205, may have got out of here. I mean, just 209, and they just didn't get the move they were looking for. But these did make a fantastic move. These ran that next day there. I mean, hit 235 if you would have swung them again. 129 was your high. They hit 425 there, and we were even at 332 today, but 425 for a high there. That's 107.32%. So enough time to get some profits on something like that. So next up, the Pan West 200, 26, 200 calls. These very interesting because they made a good move. We're going to go back to the actual day here. So here was our flow. Again, coming in on the 27th, 70 cents a contract, 101K in premium. We look at our flow here. Let's pop the results out. See if it lets me go back a page. So, okay, before our flow starts coming in, see that 29.92, our IV pops here. I gotta see what time it came in, actually. Hold on, let's see. So we're looking at the about 9:10. Okay, so it's just kind of not going to cooperate here unless I remove this and go back to the 27th. All right, let's take a peek here. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's not. Sometimes it gets goofy when you try to go back. So, okay, we're going to just look at our flow here. So 40.38, IV staying up. Spot is filling with the ask. IV staying up, repeated hits. Again, spot filling with the ask the entire time. Looks like a buy there to me. So these actually move that next day here. So you can just see, I mean, we just kind of chopped, a very choppy trade here. And you get that good move that next day, trading about 78. I mean, you're those high 78s there for most of the day. They actually ended up hitting, I believe it was so 27. Where's my 28th there? So 81 for a high. So I mean, enough time where it's choppy and you can have a stop on and secure some profits. If you're just chopping like this, I mean, I'm probably putting a stop on and at least getting out break even if anything. But you hit that. Where was it, 81 there for a high on 128. Otherwise, yeah, it's very interesting trade because when we look at this from Friday now, this, I mean, huge sell there. They could have been sells at the ask. I mean, it makes sense looking at it now, but still enough time to get some profits. Can kind of see that entry again there, and then that little pop up there, and again, enough time to get some profits on that one. So up next, the Delta Airline 220.62 puts. Won't spend a lot of time on these. These are pretty flat here. I mean, you got a little pop there when they came in, but just kind of choppy so far. Still enough time on those. Volumes all still there in that open interest. Closed at 1 today. That whale's down 11% on those from that 113. 113 and 13%. I don't know why my math is horrible right now. Just kind of looking at this as well too. Pop down here. Let's see if it lets me go back. Yeah, just sometimes it does not want to cooperate here. Let's go Thursday. So 39.01, and then that IV spike there. Spot price is rising. Get a little bid side at the after, but again, IV kind of rises there, so it looks good. looks good. And I mean, there's plenty of time on those. I mean, you got 3 weeks left on something like that, so still barring a move on that one, but down about 13%. And then our last one, we had the EOGs that came in. These ran quick. I was looking to get in these on our live stream, but they just ran so fast there. And just kind of looking at these again weekly, so you're expecting kind of a quicker move. Again, pretty textbook here where you see that IV increasing that entire way up, spot price increasing on the way up there. These ran very quick there, 73. They closed at 91 there, so they closed up 24.66%. I missed that one. It was too hard to grab that one on the live there, but yeah, otherwise that's kind of all I got for the flow recap. A little quieter week. It's going to probably be like this again next week with earnings again. It's the two busiest 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks of the year. It's Q1 earnings or Q4 earnings coming in, so it's just, I mean, you got a lot of people kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting for earnings to come in. But yeah, if you got any questions, feel free to drop them, and yeah, we'll get back to it next week. But yep, thanks for hanging out, and yeah, I will catch everybody next week, and have a great